We cannot go to the Holy Land because of the war, even should we wish to. But a part of the Holy Land has come to us. Nazareth, sanctified by the Holy Family, was rescued by angels from destruction and desecration, and is now, as we know, near Ancona, at Loreto. The devil was obliged to admit that it was the real thing. His brother Gabriel had been there, and its walls were more holy even than those of the Vatican's and Peter's. It was something full of prayer and grace. Not long after his election, St. Paul VI spent a little while in Nazareth on pilgrimage, entrusting to heaven the future of the Church and the Second Vatican Council that was in course. And he gave a beautiful meditation and message on the values of the family in imitation of the Holy Family itself. In particular, he pulled out various elements such as the sanctity of work, the importance of human relationships in the family itself, and the centrality of silence, which is under attack in our time with so many uplifted voices. If it was true in January of 1964, what would he have to say now, at the threshold of 2024? And at the beginning of a year, one does well to pause and ask, will I sacrifice this ear to these uplifted voices? Or will I enjoy the privilege of freedom in simplicity and quality relationships with God and man? Blessed Anne Catherine Emmerich saw the beauty of the Holy Family and its serenity, and how few words were necessary, so well did they understand each other. In a good monastery, something of that should be found, but also in the domestic church, of which St. John Paul II wrote. We cannot build a domestic church if our future spouse is going to be somebody without faith, and so a young person must place that choice before the King and Maker, for it is bound to be dysfunctional if we love Jesus a lot and cannot share our greatest treasure. One can create a family, not a domestic church, in that situation. It is dysfunctional. And indeed, in writing to the Corinthians, St. Paul does indicate that it is not wise to take upon one's shoulder the uneven yoke of a non-believer. One is carrying all the weight oneself in that case, and it is a halting relationship. Indeed, in general, our human relationships do determine the quality of our day. Oftentimes one is exposed to people who are dysfunctional, and then it is a damage limitation operation. knowing how to cope with difficult souls, the unbalanced, the heavy. One cannot engage fully with some souls. They are difficult to manage. One has to give space to some souls. If one goes head-on into every possible collision, one will never have peace. And so one has to know the art of circumnavigating a problem at times and not colliding directly with it. As a priest friend of mine said, we have to choose our battles. Not everything is of the same importance. And so it is also in church life. We can spend our life on earth resolving all the problems of the church by all kinds of empty words. But actually, we would do well to realize that the Lord doesn't ask us to do everything possible on earth, but He does ask us to do one thing and to do it well, to love Him in the now that He gives us, and to make sure that He is the center of our heart. Let it triumphantes venite, venite in Bethlehem. Natum videte regem angelum, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus Dominum. Ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas Deus in